Now, I like what you say about thinking like a Martian.
Mhm.
Can you go ahead and talk a little bit how that applies to personal growth?
Sure. Thinking like a Martian is not judging a situation. So let's say that you and I were sitting together and I saw water coming out of your eyes. I might immediately go, Gina, why are you crying? A Martian who comes down, he's never been on Earth before, gets out of his little spaceship, toddles over to you, and with great interest says, why is there water coming from your eyes? And the Martian could get a better answer because maybe your contact lenses are bugging you, or maybe you have allergies, or maybe there's an emotional basis. And the story that I always use to show why that's so valuable, there was a man who was married, had a daughter. He was in a terrible accident, and his face kind of looked like spin art. It worked, but they couldn't put it together well. And so he walked around constantly thinking that people thought he was so ugly. He kind of hid himself all the time, but he was still married with a child. Well, um, one night he was putting his daughter to bed, and she grabs his face and smushes it next to hers and says, this would be a great picture, but it would be better if mommy's face were in the picture. Now,
Mhm.
before, see your reaction, before he would have thought, even my daughter thinks I'm hideous. But he had learned to think like a Martian. So he asked her, why would it be a better picture if mommy's face were in the picture? And his daughter just looked at him and goes, because mommy can't hold the camera still and you take good pictures. Right there, because he knew not to self judge, but to ask the question, he avoided years of trauma thinking, even my daughter thinks I'm hideous. And he realized she just still sees daddy. So that's why when we do not immediately judge a situation, we open up so many possibilities. It's also called living the examined life. Um, when I got my third bout of breast cancer, I had only been married for a year and a half, and the doctors told me, we're taking the rack, we're taking the ovaries, and you're going from this Dolly Parton figure to a fat fire plug with permanent side effects and permanent internal damage in 3 weeks. Suck it up. Did I go home and cry? Yeah, I'm normal. But I knew I had to find 3 reasons to get okay with it. So I said, okay, number one, you don't have them, you can't get cancer there. Number two, the top half is not going to be slammed in the refrigerator door at the doctor's every year. And every woman listening knows exactly what I'm talking about with mammograms. And third, implants, I'll be perky till I'm 93. Okay. Got out of Mass General in 3 days, shopped for a bathing suit in five after a 6-hour operation.
Wow.
A lot of it is this, and a lot of it is the core of the examined life is this is happening and it's awful and I don't want it to happen, but I can't avoid it. Number one, what can I learn from this? Number two, because I'm me, how can I teach with it? And then next. So many women get stuck in their old stories. I have had women come up to me and they had colon cancer 15 years ago, and it's, hi, I'm Mary Sue, and I'm a colon cancer survivor. Well, who are you now? And the example I always use is funny. This is an article from 1973 in my local paper. Senior in high school, I was the Betty Crocker homemaker for Tamara from New Jersey. I'm not that person
Okay.
now, so I don't talk about her. And that's the way people need to look at these traumatic situations, not deny they happened, but who are you now? What gifts did they bring, even if you didn't think there were any gifts at all? Okay. That's when life always moves forward. That's when you truly can clean out your life closet, not tripping over the stuff in the bottom of the closet that you should really be done with.
Right, right.
So,
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up because that makes sense. And what I was thinking about when you were talking about the little girl, say, "Oh, I wish mommy was here." I thought she wanted like the family photos. What came to my head? I'm like, "Oh, that's so sweet of her that she wants just a family photo of all three of them together." Is what was coming to my head. But I can
mhm.
see if my reaction was like, "Oh no," thinking about that. But yeah, because children they just love their parents, and I love that.